Kaspa, the most dangerous altcoin of 2025. Kaspa isn't dead. It's not just some GPU nostalgia coin, and it's definitely not just another proof of work project. In fact, I've traded enough cycles to know when an underdog coin flips the script, and Kaspa already proved it. But here's the brutal truth. Hype can make you rich, and hype can also bury you. So the real question is Kaspa the most dangerous altcoin of 2025? Because of its insane upside, or dangerous because bag holders could become the exit liquidity? Because yes, Kaspa is decentralized, it's fast and VC free, but if the fundamentals are that strong, why do exchanges still ignore it? Why do whales mine it quietly but refuse to shill it? And why does it still trade like a cult coin instead of a serious layer one? I mean, just in general, if you look into the price action of Kaspa right now, you will see a very strong sideways trend. And look, sideways trends are not always bad. They mean we are gaining a lot of stability, like a fundament. It's stable, so you can build a strong fundament. Most of the times, especially in trading, a stability phase means overreaction of when there is a reaction. Price overreacts heavily to what it actually should do. If you, for example, define C target as I do with Fibonacci extensions, the 200% is our target. Most likely, if we see in the initial base where the current price is pretty far away from C target, the 200% correction, right? Lower than the all-time high, which we currently are trading for Kaspa. If we start to see a stability range building up, a so-called sideways trend, which for most traders means it's boring, nothing is happening, there's no volatility, no activity, that's actually good, and you will see similar in XRP or XLM, these sideways trends, or even on Solana sometimes. And the stronger the sideways trend is, not always, but can result most likely if the project is still an interest for people and traders and investors, right? As Kaspa obviously is, because of its formidable technology, right? It's revolutionizing the space because of their blockchain technology, not such as the linear examples Bitcoin, Ethereum, right, where you have linear blocks adding to each other. Actually, Kaspa is the perfect scalable project because it is not a linear blockchain system. It's more like a dynamic one where multiple blocks can be added and they're added faster. You can do transaction faster and cheaper. It still stays decentralized and you can still scale it. So there's many positive, let's say, fundamental things you can say about Kaspa. But when it comes to the price action looks more for me as a trader, not looking at fundamentals, even though I named a lot of them, as a strong stability sideway where we are building up a lot of strength for a strong overcorrection. The question is, what will trigger this overcorrection? And I cannot say that. Maybe it's more an adoption of the market. Maybe it's that the big whales that actually invest into this project start to also invest into marketing if that's something they want to do, or the Kaspa scalability chain, or basically the blockchain, the technology that makes Kaspa so unique, actually starts to be more used and there's more of a use case for it. We will see. The potential is there, the sideways trend is there, the fundament is strong. Now we need to wait for the trigger. The main question now, if we look into the future, what could be one of these fundamental strong events or in general events for the price to really go up? And the first thing we need to ask ourselves the question, what is the future? And the future looks very much like AI or real world assets especially. And as you guys know, I speak a lot and spoken a lot about real world asset coins like Ondo and Chainlink and so on, that will definitely, in my opinion, be the next narrative and the next big hype in the future of crypto. And I'm not the only one that says this, obviously, but we have Larry Fink and many other big players in the market, in the real banking system, that are foreseeing a real world asset hype. And now we need to ask our question, can Kaspa at the end of the day survive against these giants? And I truly believe that in the future, scalability will be more important than ever. I truly believe that we have a shift in the market where especially institutions and the ones that really move the market, not us as retail traders or as crypto investors in general, but really the people that have the big volume are looking for such scalability opportunities like in Solana, like in Chainlink, like in Ondo, like in real world assets. But Kaspa could be one that will be falling into people's eyes because of its potential in the blockchain. I've never seen a blockchain that transacts as fast, as safe, and as decentralized as Kaspa, if that's something they want to have. So there needs to be a lucky hit for Kaspa, so it really becomes this very big coin where there's more retail focus on it. So far not, because no one really understands it, and everyone has seen and sees Kaspa as a coin that made 50,000% over a short amount of time without the normal launching system that most coins use. No VCs, a complete fair launch, right? Which is very unusual to see. But this magic time is over. Now Kaspa needs to see more adoption and needs to invite more people, especially institutions looking into it, for this price action to really break out of the current sideways trend and continue the legacy of these insane price increases. My personal take as a trader and investor in crypto is that Kaspa still is a part of my portfolio, but it's not such an important part as, for example, XRP, XLM, Ondo, Solana, Chainlink, and so on, just because I don't see right now that in the foreseen next couple of months or 1 to 2 years, Kaspa will come back into focus. We still need to see more of the community itself, of the cult behind Kaspa, pushing, shilling. We need to see more eyes and more eyeballs on this very project. It doesn't matter how it comes, and it would be good if it comes through the real scalability and potential and actually technology. So the technology needs to shine and invite people to invest into Kaspa. And once that happens, then it's going to be an interesting coin, because then retail and institutions is going to start to push it if there's a real use case. Whether I would say retail is not so important than these institutions, but so far I don't see any point where this is going to change. I don't see any point of change. I don't see the tipping point that's going to make the scale go up again, right? That's why it's still fundamentally a strong coin and something you should bet, in my opinion, on, because the odds are very good. The question is just when, and there is no real point of time that we can set and say that's the time where we're going to see this big increase just because of liquidity coming in, because there's enough other coins where liquidity is going to go in first, as coins that are just named, especially Solana and so on. Why into Kaspa? Kaspa needs to shine with the technology, need to adopt more use cases, more people and more projects need to build on it, and then it's going to be interesting again, and it's going to see this all-time hype again, where we're going to see these big increases. Until then, it's going to remain as a position and as a trade in my portfolio. I'm currently longing Kaspa in a swing trade, and I have Kaspa holdings, but compared to all of my other holdings, it's a very small percentage, just because it's very difficult as an investor and trader right now to really define when this breakout is going to be, until I don't see any more bigger points or use cases for me to invest into Kaspa. I'm not going to increase my positions for now, because I'm pretty sure we're going to continue the sideways trend where you can still hop in, even if there's difference in 10%, 20%, it doesn't matter if you really think about the potential where Kaspa can go. So it should be, in my opinion, a part of a good portfolio, but it should not be over invested, and you should not just invest into it because what it did in the past. Now it needs to shine with the future and future engagement and future focus and real use case being used actually on this formidable technology. Just because it has this technology doesn't mean everyone's going to use it. Sometimes technology is just too early and is released way too early in the process and people don't understand it. And I think that's really a statement that fits Kaspa, and unfortunately an understatement for its technology and where it can actually take us. Look, hype is a weapon. Fundamentals are a filter, and that's true for Kaspa especially, but Kaspa has both, but timing is everything right now. You either see it early or you become someone else's liquidity. And I truly believe that it's not time yet for it. And that's why inside the community, we don't wait for narratives, we build them, right? That's why we focus on the most important coins that have a narrative right now. If you like the style of this video and if you find this information valuable, make sure to hit the like button and follow for more updates.